All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High and the proper names in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. I want to say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash Ma'amath, Yahweh, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly and willingly call God or Jehovah. Bahashem meaning in the name of, Yahweh Shai meaning he who delivers, who the world ignorantly and willingly call JC today. I want to give a double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and another double honor to my elders as well. Our one B'Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the 144,000 hopeful elect, pushing this truth across the four winds and to the 1/3 remnant believers on Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shalom, shalom. It's going to be a quick lesson put together through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, and I pray that it be edifying. Just wanted to put something together, man. I was reading, First and Second Samuel, and when I got to the last chapter of Second Samuel, chapter 24, it speaks on how basically David tempted the Lord. And as I was reading, I was like, dang, what he do? I'm like, I didn't really understand what he do, to make the judgment of the Lord come upon him. And it reminded me of, certain situations that come in my life. Sometimes you'll be talking too boldly or too proudly, or be just being over righteous, saying stuff. And then next thing you know, something happened to you. The Lord will do something to you. And you'll be like, dang, man, why I say that? But ultimately, you have a certain amount of love for the Lord, and then it calls you, to kind of get prideful or boastful in a way, but you still got to resort back to the milk, to basically correct yourself on those things. We all been there before. But I'm going to start off in the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 1, and it says, Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the son of Yahweh, command that these stones be made bread. So, he was trying to tempt Yahushua and command him that the stones be made bread. And Yahushua was checkmating him on all corners. Yahushua, you had the whole board on lock. Yahushua said, but he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh. So, and that was, a lesson. The tempter was coming to tempt him, but he was basically, checkmating him on every side. But it says, verse 5, Then the devil taking him up into the holy city and setting him on the pinnacle of the temple. And he said unto him, If thou be the son of Yahweh, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Right? He, brought out that Psalms 91 on him. You see what I'm saying? Basically tell him, throw yourself off this mountain. The Lord gonna save you. You the son of the Lord. He gonna come through for you. He gonna save you. You see what I'm saying? Verse 7, Yahushua said unto him, It is written, Again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. So, and this is something I had to learn and constantly still learn, when it comes to, prayer. I used to tempt the Lord in my prayer, you know what I'm saying? Or just, being young in the truth. You see what I'm saying? Or, just having a zeal, to where you got to constantly get corrected, by your peers, your big brothers, your elders and bishops in this truth, to keep us on track. Because at the end of the day, we just men when it's all said and done with. But Yahushua, when the tempter came to him, he resisted the tempter. And, I'm going to go to that story. I believe it's in First Chronicles chapter 21 as well. So, and this is a account when the tempter came to David. And it's First Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. So, he basically provoked David. And when I was reading the story, because it's different than, it don't say this in Second Samuel chapter 24. It didn't say nothing about Samuel, the devil. It basically said, let me go to it. I'm going to come back to this. I just want to know what it said. Oh, and it says, and again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go and number Israel and Judah. So, right, it said he moved, the anger of the Lord was tempted against him. So he moved, basically, he caused basically Satan to go and tempt David. But I'm going to get the story. This is First Chronicles chapter 21 verse 1. It says, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. And David said to Joab and to the rulers of the people, go number Israel from Beersheba even to Dan, and bring the number of them to me, that I may know it. And Joab answered, the Lord make his people 100 times so many more as they be. But my lord, the king, are they not all my lord's servants? Why then doeth my lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? So, right, man, Joab was basically rebuking him, like, trying to, like, why you want me to do this? This is a trespass. And as I'm reading it, I had to go back and read it twice, because I didn't understand, like, why would the Lord, take him through it just for counting the people, just for numbering the people? Me being young and the truth and not understanding, that was my question. But then when I Googled it when I Googled this, the same precept, First Chronicles came up. And, it's different. He says, why then doeth my Lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? Right, by tempting the Lord. Because you never know how the Lord going to basically judge you. You never know what the Lord going to do. So, it's best to just walk circumspectly. And it says, verse 4, nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab. Wherefore Joab departed and went throughout all the Israel and came to Jerusalem. And Joab gave the sum of the number of the people unto David, and all they of Israel were 1,000,000. So basically, in 2 Samuel chapter 24, it says all Israel was 800,000, and the men of Judah was 500,000. They didn't count the women and children. And it says, and Joab gave the sum of the number of the people unto David, and all they of Israel were 1,000,000. So like I keep hearing stuff. And 100,000 men that drew sword. And David was 400. And Judah was 410,000 men that drew sword. But Levi and Benjamin counted he not among them, for the king's word was abominable to Joab. So, Joab ain't even want to do it anyways, because he already knew that the Lord was going to, basically, his anger was going to be kindled against the people anyways, I believe, But it says, for the king's word was abominable to Joab. Verse 7, and Yahweh was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. So right, just off of that, the Lord, killed or unalive 70,000 people in Israel during that time. And David was basically repenting, saying, he was saying, dang, Lord, just let it be on me. I did it, or whatever the case may be. But, the Lord having mercy, he didn't take David through, more than he can handle. He just told him to build an altar. But keep going. And it says, and David said unto Yahweh, I have sinned greatly, because I have done this thing. But now I beseech thee, do away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. And the Lord spake unto Gad, David's seer, saying, go tell David, saying, thus saith the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So right, that's like your grandmother, your grandfather, telling you go to the tree and pick your switch. Basically, that the Lord always been a father to his people. He always been merciful and kind to his people when it's all said and done with. But at the end of the day, he's still a father. He'll take you through it. Verse 11, so Gad came to David and said unto him, thus saith the Lord, choose thee either 3 years famine, or 3 months to be destroyed before thy foes, while that the sword of thy enemies overtake thee, or else 3 days the sword of the Lord. Or else 3 days the sword of the Lord. I probably would have picked that 3 days. It said what, 3 years of famine, or 3 months to be destroyed before thy foes, while that the sword of thy enemies overtake thee, or else 3 days the sword of the Lord. Y'all would have took that 3 days. I'm just speaking it from David. I don't want no smoke, but I'm saying speaking from David's side. It says, 3 days, the sword of the Lord, even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coast of Israel. So right, so he told him to basically, pick what he want, pick what's gonna come to him. You see what I'm saying? And it says, now therefore advise thyself, Salakia. I'm gonna go back. It says, even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coast of Israel. Now therefore advise thyself what word I shall bring again to him that sent me. And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait. Let me fall now into the hand of the Lord, for very great are his mercies. But let me not fall into the hands of man. So right, David, he basically took it to the chin, like, man, Lord, I believe he picked those 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done with. And it says, verse 14, so the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. So right, he probably, most likely chose that 3 days, and the Lord basically smote 70,000 people in Israel, just for David counting the people. That's just for David trying to number the people. It's something as small as that can, I ain't gonna say it's small. Something like that can cause the Lord to, the anger of the Lord to be kindled, man, and it make you really look deep into your walk. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I do a lot of stuff, and a lot of times stuff be happening to me, and I don't know why it's happening to me. In my mind, I feel like I'm doing good, but really, in all actuality, I'm doing something that's, causing the anger of the Lord to be kindled against me. So guess what? Stuff start to happen. Verse 14, so the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel, and there fell of Israel 70,000 men. And Yahweh sent an angel unto Jerusalem to destroy it. And as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough. Stay now thy hand. And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. And David lifted up his eyes and saw the angel of the Lord standing between the earth and the heaven, having a drawn sword in his hand stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders of Israel, who were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces. So right, man, that's how on point the Lord is. Just seeing that. Imagine you, in great power, right? Not even, I'm saying, like, from his standpoint, being the king over Israel, you ain't even got to be in great power. But, you look up and you see the angel of the Lord, just destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Or being in the midst of Jacob's trouble, right? And everything that we is prophesying about, teaching about, we start to see for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You see the miracle of the Lord, the judgment of the Lord, but it's not coming out of thee, but you get to see it and be a witness. Like that thick darkness that they saw in Egypt. Imagine what's going to happen when we see that on this side. You see what I'm saying? Or an angel of the Lord standing after he just did what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's going to make you believe on the Lord even more when it's all said and done with. Verse 17, and David said unto Yahweh, is it not I that commanded the people to be numbered, even I? It is that have sinned and done evil indeed. But as for these sheep, what have they done? Let thy hand, I pray thee, O Lord, my power, be on me and on my father's house, but not on thy people, that they should be plagued. So right, David was basically, he felt bad for, sinning, even though he had, counsel from Joab, but his words was more powerful than Joab, meaning the people was going to listen to him. They wasn't going to listen to Joab, but Joab knew that he was going off in a few situations, even when he was going through it with his son Absalom, and all that. Salakia, man, it just be so much going on. I just came outside, there wasn't nobody out here, not everybody out here, dogs, mosquitoes, all type of things, man. But right, David was saying basically, Lord, let it be on me, man. Don't let it be on the people, because I'm the one who went off. I'm the one who sinned. I'm the one who tempted you. So let it be on me. And it says, verse 18, then the angel of the Lord commanded Gad to say to David that David should go up and set up an altar unto the Lord, and in the threshing floor of Ornan, the Jebusite. And David went up at the saying of Gad, which he spake in the name of the Lord. And Ornan turned back turned back and saw the angel and his 4 sons with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat. And as David came to Ornan, Ornan looked and saw David and went out of the threshing floor and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. Then David said to Ornan, grant me. So basically, man, the Lord told him to build an altar, and that's what he did, man. You know what I'm saying? But I got one more precept just came to mind. Psalms 145. You know, because, you know, when the tempter come, man, you gotta try our best to get out of Dodge. But, you know, us being in this flesh, it'd be hard as man. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially me, because I've been saying something out of pride. And I tell my elder, the elder said, no, hell no, he don't say that. But he said, no, don't say that. He said, no, don't say that. Make sure next time, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I got to learn, because now I'm starting to see like the Lord, real deal, He's going to take you through there if you play with him. Right, and this the precept that I got basically from you know how the Lord had the angel basically waiting right there with the sword in his hand, and all the people and David and them knew what it was. And it says Psalms chapter 145 verse 5, it said, I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works, and man shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. All right, you know, that was a terrible act, and you know, greatness, how the Lord can send an angel down that can take out 70,000 people. And it's another account in the scriptures to where, you know, the Lord had sent an angel down to smite some heathens in the field, and there was a lot of heathens. I don't know, it's probably like a couple 100,000. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what story it is. If anybody knows, drop it on the comment section for me. But man, those are mighty acts. You know, the Lord sending a chariot down from Mount Sinai. You know, all the people seeing it. You know, that's a mighty act, and there's still evidence about that. You know, to this day. You know, these heathen found Noah's Ark. You see what I'm saying? So all this, these are the Lord's mighty acts, glorious works. It says the Lord is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and of great mercy. The Lord is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works. All thy works shall praise thee, O Lord, and thy saints shall bless thee. So right, you know, it says his hand, basically, his tender mercies are over all his works. You know, because the Lord could have did whatever he wanted to do in that situation, in all these situations, but still he chooses to have mercy on us when we go off. You know, when it's all said and done with, like, you know, the story of David, 2 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 1. You know, same as Chronicles. You know, when we go off, even with the stuff that we was doing before we came into the truth. You know, the Lord gave us those sure mercies of David. When it's all said and done with, it says, verse 10, all thy works shall praise thee, O Lord, and thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom and talk of thy power. So right, and that's what we're doing now. You know, they are the hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, you know, speaking of the kingdom to come and of the Lord's power, man, when it's all said and done with. It said, they shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom and talk of thy power, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts and the glorious might and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. So right, you know, that was a mighty act. You know, the Lord, you know, of one word. And you read 2 Samuel chapter 24, said it took him like 9 months to do all that. You know, and then the Lord did what he did in 3 days, when it's all said and done with. And I imagine what's gonna happen to Esau. He constantly having all these damn censuses. You know what I'm saying? He this is somebody righteous who the Lord did this to. So imagine what he gonna do to the wicked, having all these census and damn DNA tests. I remember when the pandemic had first started. When the pandemic had first started, man, you had people coming to your house, knocking on your door. They'll come like 2-3 days in a row, you know, trying to number and see how many people in the houses and stuff like that. You know, so the people I was living with at the time, like, man, y'all ain't telling the job. So it got to a point of like, my mind said they was trying to basically set everybody up to get to see who where, and box them in. You know, because when the pandemic first started, me being new in this truth, I thought it was all over. But I'm gonna keep going. It says, to make known to the sons of man his mighty acts and his glorious majesty of his kingdom. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. The Lord upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. So right, man. You know, the Lord upholdeth, you know, all us that fall. Righteous man falleth 7 times, but he get it up again. You know, even, you know, David, King David at that time, you know, numbering Israel, or you know, constantly going through the motions of as a man. He was constantly going through the motions, and Joab was right there basically telling him, and you know, what it was and what it wasn't. You know, he wasn't righteous. I ain't gonna say he wasn't righteous, but I'm just take that back. I ain't gonna say that he wasn't a righteous man, but I don't know. You know, he had some good days and he had some bad days. That's what I'm saying. Just like the rest of us, he was just a man in the flesh. That's what I'm saying. And it says, the Lord upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. So right, man, all those that humble, the Lord is now to those with a meek and a contrite spirit, you know, and he gonna uphold those that fall. What's that? Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 1. It says, though he I'm gonna get it next. The Lord upholdeth all those that be down. The eyes of all that wait upon thee, and thou the eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thy hand and satisfies in the desire of every living thing. So the reason why I brought that precept out is just to, you know, back up the statement that I made on the Lord being merciful unto, you know, all flesh, but basically being merciful unto David, you know, every time he transgressed. And basically we need those sure mercies of David as well. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation even again he will deliver him. So right, you know, no evil is going to happen today that fear the Lord. But even in temptation, when we go off, when we in the midst of falling those 7 times, he said he going to deliver us again. Let me try mercies. Can't find it. For the sure mercies of David. Let's see, I'm trying to have to look through the web. Isaiah 55, it says verse 3. I'm gonna get it from right here. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 3. It says, incline your ear to me and hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. So right, we all hoping for those mercies, because, you know, by us being in the truth, the Lord will get us for, you know, certain things that displease him. So it's better that we you know, try our best to walk circumspectly when that's all said and done with. And I pray this lesson was edifying. Shalom, on to the next.